First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. And a sincere salutation to the Occupationists Truth and Sincerity by Shem Rokak Kodash. So basically, I would like to share something that happened to me today through the Spirit. Okay? And as many brothers know, when you go to work, you're Clark Kent. When you're out, among those that are without, you're pretty much staying in your own lane. But today was one of those days where, I just had to say something, and I didn't say much, okay, but the things that we say is filled with wisdom. It's mingled with knowledge, and understanding. Because we study the Bible, and the Bible is a history book of the Israelites, okay, and is a book of prophecy. So, we are, privy to the things, okay, that have happened, that in the past, things in the present and in the future, okay. So basically in the morning, the Spirit had it to, we were talking about the C-19, and Judah basically was saying, oh, that he didn't trust the juice. He's like, something's in that juice, man. I ain't taking it. And I looked at him and told him I ain't either. This other dude, he was an Israelite too. He was Issachar. He basically and the dude is full of pride. The dude is full of himself. Very very carnal. Damn near like a beast, like nature. So sure of himself. Got all the right words to say. Know how to trip you up in your words. The type of person that when he gets close, you can't help but think that you're going to fight this person. The person makes you uncomfortable. Just one of those, like a live wire type of person. You don't know what they're going to do. You don't know what they're going to say. Always throwing you under the bus. Very shady, underhanded, and it's, and to them, they're just full of knowledge, and they're outlandish with their theories. But as we were talking about the C-19, this Judite dude and me were like basically saying, nah, hey man, the government, they're doing something with that juice, and we were agreeing, saying, nah, we weren't gonna take it. But here come this guy, just full of words, saying everything and anything that didn't make no sense. It didn't make no sense what he was saying. Basically, he was agreeing with the, with the spirit of Egypt that America upholds, that slavery that, every couple of years, the economy has to go down, and they cause the prices of food, rent, and gas and other commodities to go up so that, they can make their money, but everything's going to go back to normal, so on and so forth, that things are going to go back to normal and all this other stuff. And, he was talking about, he'd rather live in a car. He'd rather own a vehicle and live in a car than have a house. Okay. And amongst many other things that he had said, and, me and Judah were looking at him like, what the hell are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't you know that the government, have always wanted control over the people? Don't you know that, we're slaves? And we started talking about how, really when you own a vehicle in the house, you really, you really have a debt, You don't really own anything as of yet until you know, pay it off. But even then, okay, there's orders, you know, instilled by the government to, you know, that they can relinquish your properties and your possessions and whatnot. So while we're saying all these things, you know, this dude's starting to get like very uncomfortable, you know, starting looking at us like, you know, like low key, like sizing, you know, us up, you know. And the Judite man, you know what I'm saying, you know, he wasn't in the truth. But I'm sitting there just observing this whole situation, this whole conversation. I just it's amazing to me how, you know, Jake is full of words but don't know anything. Okay, so I want to start here. This is the book of Psalms 38 and 12. It says, they also that seek after my life lay snares for me, and they that seek my hurt speak mischievous things and imagine deceits all the day long. And I'm gonna say this: when you're around Jake, okay, Jake is a supplanter. Okay, Jake will try to supersede you, you know, in the workplace, okay, and any place where you frequent, wherever you find Jake, in the grocery line, I'll try to con you out of, you know, checking out first, a parking space, you know, you name it, you know. Our people are always trying to supplant, right? It says, and they that seek my hurt speak mischievous things and imagine deceits all the day long. And that's the spirit that this dude was in. And it was very spiritual how, like, you know, you try to be Clark Kent, but even when you speak about things that are going on, okay, in the world, you know, Jake look at you a certain type of way, okay? They rather talk about, you know, party and bullshit, but, you know, they actually seek your hurt, and they speak mischievous things, okay? And they imagine deceits all the day long. That's all they do, is how to, you know, who they can throw under a bus. Who can they, you know, talk shit to? You know, who could they do, you know, mischief to? And I'm going to say this, you know, Jake, man, when this thing pops off, man, Jakes that are grimy like that, they're going to look to take people's lives away. You know, these are the type of carnal dudes that are going to pick up a gun because they have no faith. They done pressed all their trust, okay, in their oppressor. Okay, it says, but I, as a deaf man, heard not, and I was as a dumb man that opened not his mouth. So, you know, you play deaf, you know, and you play dumb, and you don't open your mouth when you know, you see Jake utter all kinds of madness out of their mouth, okay? You know, stuff that is backed up with no real sense, you know. Jake think he knows shit, but Jake don't know nothing, man. They see the scenario that we're in, okay, with the C-19. They see the inflation. They see that you know, that these devils have us, okay, in slavery, and they still side with the devil. They still put their heart in Egypt. They still look at their fellow brother, okay, as the enemy, and they rather help out an Edomite than their own. You see, you got a lot of coconuts out there in the world, man. You see, brown on the outside, but really inside they're white, okay. But yeah, you what do? You play like you don't hear. You play like you don't understand the things that they're saying. You keep your mouth shut. You be Clark Kent to the best of your ability. You can't even speak, you know, you can't even build like how Jake say in the world, man. You know, when you start chopping up knowledge and wisdom and build with some dudes, like he always comes that one guy, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, black and mild smoking, you know, skinny jean wearing, you don't think he just knows shit, you know, dude in the mix. Okay. 14, thus I was a man that heareth not, and in whose mouth are no reproofs. Right? So you play like you're dumb. You don't see, you don't hear, and you don't reprove. You don't say nothing, you know, because our people are lacking wisdom, knowledge, understanding. You know how to conduct yourself, and the truth, you know, offers all that. Okay, that's why we, you know, that's why we meditate on the word of the Most High, because it shows you how to act, how to conduct yourself as a man. Okay, you know, to think before you speak, don't utter your whole mind. and things of that nature, you know. But you know, our people are just animals, man. They want to overspeak you, you know. They undermine you. They throw you under the bus. You know, they just hate. They're you know, they just hate without a cause. You know, that's why the scriptures say, marvel not if the world hates you. And these people, 2/3 of our people, they're of the world. And they see something in you, man. You know, they see that you don't carry yourself like a fool. They know that you're trying to be somebody different, you know, and you come from the same areas as them, but that you've like matured, and Jake hasn't matured. Though he have money, though he have cars, though he have position, though he have whatever, they're still in a very carnal loser mentality, you know. Let's go here. This is Psalms 39:1. It's a psalm of David. I said, I will take heed to my ways, that I sin not with my tongue. Right. So you know, you take heed, okay, and you don't sin with your tongue. You watch what you say. You don't let the ministry be blamed. You know, if any were to find out you're an Israelite, or if basically you know, you represent the truth, okay? You take heed to your ways. You sin not with your tongue. You try to watch what you say, right? I will keep my mouth with the bridle while the wicked is before me. And like I said, 2/3 of our people, they're wicked. Okay, so, you know, you keep your mouth with the bridle. You watch what you say. You don't want to, you don't want, you know, to be, you don't want to say the wrong thing in front of the wicked. Okay, because, you know, trust and believe that 2/3 of our people will keep your saying. They kept Yahweh Shai saying, they'll keep yours, and they'll twist their words. They'll twist your words. It says, I was dumb with silence. I held my peace, even from good, and my sorrow was stirred. And that's the thing, you know, you be quiet, you silent when you see all the injustices that go on around you, you know, especially among Jake. You know, the scriptures say that they're haters of the good. You know, they're heady, high-minded traitors. You know, all those things that it says in the book of Timothy. You know, you see all, you know, the perilous times that we're in with our people. You know, and the way they're conducting themselves, and you're trying to fight to not be like that. You know, and you see it all around. You vex with the filthy conversation. It says, I was done with silence. I held my peace, even from good. Right, you held your peace even from good, even from reproving. Okay. You know, you act like you don't hear things, you don't see things, you don't know nothing, man. You're just there to, you know, you're just there to do what you got to do. You know, in this case, I was on the, you know, at the plantation. Okay. I held my peace even from good, and my sorrow was stirred. Right. And then you begin to be like, man, you know, you get vexed. You look at the situation that you're in, you know, and you're dealing amongst scorpions, man. Our people, Israelites, right? Your sorrow you become stirred inside. You know, you become vexed. You become sorrowful. It says, my heart was hot within me while I was musing, the fire burned. Right. So you start to think about the situation, and you start to say, man, I could, you know, I could, you know, curse you out. You know, I could put a curse on you, man. I could really tell you about yourself. You know what I mean? But our people are quick to throw you under the bus and make it seem that you are the problem. But that's what Jake do. They throw rocks and then they hide their hands, you know, and they in a glass house. You see what I'm saying? That's how our people are. You know, scriptures say they're a gainsaying people. You know, the Lord has stretched his hand out to a gainsaying people. And how does he stretch his hand out? Well, a lot of people don't know that the interactions, you know, that you have with people, you know, they're interactions to learn, you know, situations that happen among people. And basically, you know, you learn from you know, different experiences in your life. People come into your life and you learn things, man, all the time. We always learn things. Okay. But, you know, you become hot. Okay. Your sorrow turns to anger, you know, while you think about things. That's what this word musing means. Let me look it up. Let's look it up.
Strong's H, 1901. Hagig. Hagig.
Right. What does it say here? It says meditation, right? When you meditate on things, you know, your mind is hot within you. You meditate, you know, what you could do. And then it says what? At the end of the verse, then spake I with my tongue. Okay. And you know, after a while, you can't hold it in. You start to speak. In this case, David, you know, was speaking to Yahweh, you know, the Most High. Lord, make me to know mine end and the measure of my days, what it is, that I may know how frail I am. But precept upon precept, I want to get this point that, you know, then you start to speak. You know, you can only have so much of hearing bullshit from Jacob. Then you got to lace them up. You got to lace up their shoes with knowledge of certain things and correct them. And you know what I'm saying? Because Jake, man, will push your buttons on some little shit, you know, trying to belittle you and throw you under the bus until you're like, look, man, this is what it is. You know what I mean? And it's just, that's just the way our people operate. You know? Because our people don't know what the hell they're talking about, you know? But we do, through the Spirit, you know? And we say it humbly. You know, but when it comes to the situation, you know, here in spiritually Egypt, you know, which is synonymous with slavery, you know, in America, you know, we know through the Spirit. This is Jeremiah 7:28. But thou shalt say unto them, this is a nation that obeyeth not the voice of of Yahweh their power, nor receiveth correction. Truth is perished and is cut off from their mouth. And that's of a fact. This is what we say, like, hey, man, listen, you know, this is what it is, you know, because I'm going to go on and say this too, man. They bought me a sandwich, you know, with some pork in it. And I was like, you know what? I don't eat pork, man. And they're like, why? Are you a Muslim? I'm like, no. They're like, you're Jewish? And I was like, yeah, I am Jewish, man. You know, and they're like, oh, that's cool, you know. And I just left it at that. But, you know, one of the guys said it was spiritual because one of the guys said, hey, man, my brother is a Hebrew something, you know, and he believes a lot in the Old Testament. You don't eat pork either. And yeah, but he's kind of radical. And I was just sitting there, and this all happened today, you know, and I was sitting there and I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, oh, yeah. Oh, that's cool. And I'm like, well, you know, the Bible's kind of radical too. You know, I mean, some of the things that are written is just, it's not for the faint. It's not for, you know, for just anybody and everybody. But yeah, man, I could see why he don't eat pork. He's like, yeah, I didn't eat pork too, he said. And here goes this guy again. He says, yeah, but see, well, that's why Jesus Christ died for our sins. Because we couldn't keep the Old Testament, he said. So, you know, we're kind of covered. Like, and I said, yeah, but, you know, that's not what the word says, you know. The word says that, you know, you don't make void the law of the Most High, you know. But he went on another rant of how we're under grace, this, that, and the other, while he was chewing on the pork sandwich, you know. So it was kind of spiritual, you know. And you don't, like I said, through the Spirit, you know, you try to be Clark Kent, but, you know, at times you just have to speak, right? So this is Jeremiah 7:28. You know, but thou shalt say unto them, this is a nation that obeyeth not the voice of the Lord their power, nor receiveth correction. Truth is perished and is cut off from their mouth. Okay, and you know, little do you know, these Jakes know that they are Israelites, man. You know, and the guy that was, and this carnal guy who, the Issachar dude who was just full of crap. You know, he said he was a Christian. And I'm just looking at him, just nodding like, yeah, man, you know, just, you know, trying to be wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove, man. You know, I need my job. I need, you know, to, you know, basically put food on my table. But nonetheless, you know, our people, they don't receive correction. Truth is perished and is cut off from their mouth. They have no understanding. The truth is totally beyond them, you know. So this is just, you know, something that happened to me today through the Spirit. But, you know, it's interesting, man, you know, how people are just full of nonsense, you know. This is Ezekiel 3:26. And I will make thy tongue cleave to the roof of thy mouth, and thou shalt be dumb, and shall not be to them a reprover, for they are a rebellious house. Okay. And Ezekiel, he was stopped by the Most High to say anything. So, even now I gotta be, more 007 and 8 at work, right? Because I had already said, I was Jewish, I just kept it as that, And then in the morning I was, early in the morning, this morning I was speaking about, the condition of America and how, it's crumbling, and, how the pandemic, what it really is, and how they're using it to basically take away the rights, and, so yeah, it's best to be, quiet. But I'm going to continue. It says, and I will make thy tongue cleave to the roof of thy mouth, that thou shalt be dumb, and shall not be to them a reprover, for they are a rebellious house. You see, so there's times where, the spirits just put up on you to just to be dumb. Just play the role, and don't be a reprover. Although you get vexed with that filthy conversation, right? Okay, but it's all in balance, because ultimately, Yahweh Shem Yahshua, he kind of lets you open up that shirt and pop a couple buttons and show that S on your chest every now and then, to completely take off your shirt and put on your garment, but he'll let you, rip that button up, and so that S be revealed a little bit. But I'm gonna continue. It says, but when I speak with thee, I will open thy mouth, and thou shalt say unto them, thus saith the Lord power, he that heareth, let him hear, and he that forbeareth, let him forbear, for they are a rebellious house. Okay? And sometimes the Spirit will speak to you. Sometimes Yahweh Shem Yahshua will speak to you, man, and you'll say certain things. Okay? You'll open your mouth, and you shall say unto them, thus saith the Lord power. You'll say, hey, man, well, you know what, really, this is because it would, like I said, it was spiritual. That even my other coworker, the Judite dude, even the Spirit was on him to tell them about how, America was going to be destroyed, and America was, in the Bible, and this, that, and the third. So it's spiritual. It's spiritual how these situations go down, wherever you may be, He that heareth, let him hear, and he that forbeareth, let him forbear, for they are a rebellious house. Right? So those that hear it, hey, let them hear. Because ultimately, I'm going to say this too, there's going to come a time where, all the world's going to hear the truth about the Israelites, man. And then the end's going to come. Okay? But this is that word forbear.
Strong's H2308. Chadal. Chadal.
To stop, cease,
and the
desist,
form
forgo.
Just below that, Chadal. Chadal.
Cease to be, leave undone, forbear, right? Let alone. Right, so our people, they'll cease to hear the word. They don't want to hear it. But he that will hear it, hey, let him hear. This is Ezekiel 3 in the NLT. But when I give you a message, I will loosen your tongue and let you speak. Then you will say to them, this is what the sovereign Lord says. Those who choose to listen will listen, and those who refuse will refuse, for they are the rebels. And the Spirit be on you to tell you, man. The Spirit, I remember one time I kind of spooked a couple dudes at work one time when I told them that Russia was going to destroy America. You know what I mean? And this was a couple of years ago. This was like 2 years ago. There was some issues going on with Russia and U.S., like how there's always been, right? And I had told them certain things according to, the news, and not using scripture, but just using the wisdom and telling them, well, according to, what's happening in the news, like this is what's going to happen in the future. And they were just like, what? Like, but hey, he that can hear, let him hear. And he that ceases, hey, let them alone. They're rebels. They're rebellious. Okay. This is the book of Isaiah 30. It says, "Woe to the rebellious children, say Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that take counsel but not of me." Right? Our people take advice. They'll heed everyone but Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and his prophets. Because when you receive one of the Lords, you're receiving Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, because the prophets come with a message. The prophets are not going to come to you and be telling you, you know what I'm saying, to further your life in America. The prophets are not going to come and tell you to live your best life. The prophets are not going to come and tell you that you're under grace and you can, while chomping on a pork sandwich. Prophets are not going to tell you that. You see, prophets are going to tell you what is according to the scriptures, man. They're going to speak truths, that they're going to be filled with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, But yeah, the Lord will put the Spirit on you to say things at times, but not all the time, because it's not wise. It really is not wise, because our people, this truth is not for everyone, But sometimes you might have to pull out your sword through the Spirit, It says, "Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel but not of me, and that cover with the covering but not of my Spirit, that they may add sin to sin." And that's ultimately what, 2/3 of our people are doing. They're covering themselves with a covering but not of the Spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And they're just only adding sin to sin. They're living in iniquity, not really taking heed, to nobody or nothing but what? But Egypt, but America, furthering your life in this place. Having a real carnal, do as thou wilt, vain, selfish, spirit on them, believing in good old America. Because you tell somebody that America is going to be destroyed, that the way that the economy's looking, it's going to crash, the dollar's about to be out. Look at inflation. Look at being credit and debt slaves, and they'll look at you like they want to punch you, literally, because they're invested in Egypt, man. It says that walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt, right? And they don't ask at the mouth of the Lord. And who's the mouth? The prophets, man. The prophets are the mouth of the Heavenly Father. And they strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, right? Believe in Biden. They believe in politics and in being a Republican and a Democrat, and things are going to get better. And this is all for them to get rich, but then things are going to go back to normal. They're going to drop the gas. They're going to drop, the inflation. Man, if anything, these devils, they're right where they supposedly want to be, They think they're going to fulfill their enterprise, but that's not the case. Yeah, they trust in the shadow of Egypt. Yeah, they think that Egypt's going to back them, that their job, is going to be the end-all, be-all. Jake want to work 7 days a week. Real talk. Jake want to work 7 days a week, man. Why? Because they think they're going to make it in this place. This is, money is their God. Being vain on social media, just ignorant as hell, just vain, animal-like, you can do it with your strength, with your limited knowledge. You can just do anything you want if you just put your mind to it. Like, just put your mind to his Spirit. You know what I mean? It says, "Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion." You see? "Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame," right? All this, here in America with your oppressors and you really being a coconut, that's going to be to your shame in the end. And the trust in the shadow of Egypt, your confusion, right? And our people are confused. They're totally confused, man. Bugged out, man, thinking that this is the end-all, be-all, that this is the place to be, good old America, man, So, This is Isaiah 39. This is a rebellious people, lying children, right? Lying children, lying ass dudes, man. Lying ass dudes, man. You know, Israelites at that, you know, not valuing for the truth, not wanting to hear the truth, just conniving, throw you under the bus, you know, calling people to find out, you know, who you are and what they can get off you and what man, our people are through, right? Children that will not hear the law of the Lord, right? They won't hear the law of the Lord. You know, they don't want to hear anything. It is righteous, man. You know, look at you a certain type of way. You know, even if you were to tell them you weren't Jewish, if you were to tell them you was whatever, they look at you a certain type of way. Why? Because they're animals, man. They don't even the scriptures say they have forgotten the Lord days without end. People hella ungodly, man. They don't pray. They don't think about the Lord. They just think about them. As long as they're breathing and they're so-called living, everything is just a coincidence. They don't know why things happen. They don't know the judgment of the Heavenly Father. They don't know his ways. And they just know all the Babylon juice, you know, all the Sodom and Egypt. They're in the spirit of Sodom and Egypt, just done. All America'd out, you know. It would say to the seer, seer not, to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. And that's what they want to hear. They want to hear things that are smooth, things that are going to tickle their fancy, things that are going to help promote their agenda in this life, you know. How can you help me make it in this world, you know? That's, you know, Jake will use you, man. Jake will supplant. Jake will use you, man. 2/3 of our people will use you and turn around and say that they're good people. You know, Jake will say, "Oh, I'm not an asshole kind of guy." Like, man, that's exactly what you are. But that's the way these people are. That's the way 2/3 of our people are, man. It says, get you out of the way and turn aside out of the path. Cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. That's what they want. They want you to get out the way, turn aside from the path. They want you to get away from them. Get out of my way. And cause, you know, Yahweh Bashim Yashai to cease from before us. Because they see the spirit that's in you. They know Yahweh Shai, you know, there's a light in you, you know. Wherefore, thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word and trust in oppression and perverseness and stay thereon. You see, they despise the word. They trust in oppression and perverseness, man. They trust in oppression, man. They trust in slavery. They trust in being oppressed. They can't stand up. And here it is. They think they're all valiant. They think they're all brave. You know, they're confident and this, that, and the third. And really, they're just prideful fools, man. Lifted up, thinking they know a thing or two. They don't know shit. And perverseness and stay thereon, right? They stay in it. They stay in this bullshit mentality of America. Therefore, this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, right? That lifestyle. And here in America and the one that our people live, it's going to be as, you know, a wall ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant. You see? It says, and I'm going to end it out here on the 18th verse. And therefore will Yahweh Bashemi Al-Shai wait, that he may be glorious unto you. And therefore will he be exalted, that he may have mercy upon you. For Yahweh is a power of judgment. Blessed are all they that wait for him. Right? And you got to wait. You got to wait, man. The Lord, okay? The Lord's going to have mercy, man, on the believers. The Lord's going to have mercy on those who are keeping their mouth from reproving, who have to bite their tongue and who ultimately have to, you know, sometimes you just got to say something, you know, but the Lord, he sees the balance. He sees, you know, you trying to do the right thing, man, amongst this crooked and perverse generation that just believes in a bunch of nonsense. Okay, wait upon Yahweh Bashim Yashai, that he may be gracious unto you. Okay. Let me end it. Let's go back to Psalms 38. It says, Psalms 38:15, for in thee, O Yahweh, Bashem Yashai, do I hope. Thou wilt hear, O Lord, my power. For I said, hear me, lest otherwise they should rejoice over me. When my foot slippeth, they magnify themselves against me. For I am ready to halt, and my sorrow is continually before me. For I will declare my iniquity, I will be sorry for my sin. But mine enemies are lively. Let's look up this word lively. Right. People would have nothing. They would like to see nothing better than to see you fail in life.
Strong's H2416. Chai. Chai.
Yeah, lively, active of man. Right. You know, some of our people, man, everybody likes them, but I trip out how a lot of people can't see that they're pieces of shit. Why? Because a lot of people like friends. They like their asses to be kissed. They want to be known as a cool guy. And you can never disagree. And you can never tell somebody about themselves. You can never keep it real. People are fake. People are fake as shit. Especially, you know, enemies of brothers, man. But my enemies are lively and they are strong. And they that hate me wrongfully are multiplied. They also that render evil for good are mine adversaries, because I follow the thing that good is. You see? Let me read that again. They also that render evil for good are mine adversaries, because I follow the thing that good is. Forsake me not, O Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, O my power. Be not far from me. Make haste to help me, O Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, my salvation. And that's of a fact. The Lord's going to make haste to help us, brothers, among these degenerate people of ours, man. So, Lord willing, this was edifying. I want to say, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushai. Shalom.